Wow. I didn't even say anything. Thank you. My name is Randy Gold. And first tonight, I want to start by congratulating Marty, who had to leave. Marty left. Does he know he's getting an award after? Okay, he's coming back. Okay. And I want to thank my dear friends, Matt and Stacy Brill, for asking me to speak here tonight. And of course, I want to congratulate Eric on the new position. We're all so very excited to have you. For over 20 years, I have worked alongside so many of you here for our Jewish community. And now I get to stand up in front of all of you and say thank you. Thank you for being my teachers, my mentors, my friends. You know, just a few years ago, Jewish Federations of North America named me their Jewish community hero. Thank you. If I am a mover and shaker and Jewish change maker, as tonight is titled, it's because of what I learned from you and because of what this community taught me. I know most of you know me and my wife Caroline, who's here tonight, for the work that we do with Jewish genetic diseases. And so you know that I'm here tonight to talk about Jewish genetic diseases and social entrepreneurship. But let's get real for a second. I'm an accountant. How many of you think of your accountant as an entrepreneur? How many of you would even consider using the word social to describe your accountant? Honestly, one. So maybe that's why tonight I'm going to talk to you about faith. In Hebrew, the word is emunah. What is faith? What is emunah? Well, first, let me tell you what faith is not. Faith is not this blind or hopeful or maybe even naive idea that if you just believe, if you just pray hard enough, everything will turn out okay. Faith is knowing that there is God, there is us, and there is this one moment in time when you have to act. Faith is what happens when you know you have to act. How will you act? What will you do? How will you do it? We just finished celebrating our holiday of Passover, and everyone knows the story. Pharaoh finally decides, go, free the Jews, get out of here. And so we're on our way out of town, and what happens? He changes his mind. And now we have the biggest, strongest army in the world chasing us. And we reach the foot of the Red Sea, and we're trapped. Trapped between Pharaoh's army and the edge of the water. And so what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. Nothing happens until a guy named Nachshon, standing at the edge of the water, knows that this is his moment in time. So you know what he does? He does something that nobody else would do. He acts. The Medrash tells us that Nachshon starts walking into the water. And as he does, the sea parts. Nachshon had faith. Nachshon is the definition of social entrepreneurship. Caroline and I knew about Jewish genetic diseases before we got married. And so we both asked our doctors to screen us for Jewish genetic diseases. We weren't a match for any diseases, so we didn't think we'd have any problems. In 2006, our son Nat, who's here with us tonight, was born. Don't encourage him. In 2008, we were blessed with our first daughter, Eden. If you haven't met her, I hope you'll meet her tonight. She's really an amazing person. It wasn't long after Eden was born that we knew something was terribly wrong. And it took 18 grueling months to find a diagnosis. And on August 25th, 2009, at 2 p.m, the phone rang. And the voice on the other side of the phone said, "I'm sorry, but your daughter has mucolipidosis type 4. Doctors say that Eden will never learn to walk. She'll never learn to talk. She'll have a maximum mental capacity of about 18 months. She'll go blind by the time she's 12. And she's only going to live until early adulthood." Daddy's little girl, my little Eden. She's not going to go to school like other kids. She's not going to go off to college or walk down the aisle or have kids of her own. How could this be? We asked to be screened. We did the right thing. Well, it turns out that neither one of our Jewish doctors even knew what to screen us for. And neither one of our rabbis ever mentioned Jewish genetic diseases before we got married. About a month after Eden's diagnosis, Caroline and I knew that we had to do something. We knew that we had to make Jewish genetic diseases a national Jewish communal issue, not just a medical issue. We knew that to help other families, we'd have to be very public with our lives. We'd have to crisscross the country telling people our story. And yes, we'd have to share our daughter Eden with others in ways that would make us very uncomfortable. But we also knew that our social innovation would be measured by healthy Jewish children. And so we took our idea to Bernie Marcus at the Marcus Foundation. And I remember saying to Bernie, "We got a lot of problems, us Jews, and we can't solve them all. But this is one we can solve." And so today, JScreen is the most comprehensive, accessible, and affordable Jewish genetic disease program in the world. All you have to do is log on to jscreen.org. And for $99, we'll send you a spit test in the mail. Yes, a spit test. All you have to do is spit in the cup, put it back in the pre-addressed envelope, and in 3 or 4 weeks, a genetics counselor will call you with your results. There's a card on your chair tonight. Use the promotion code FedTalks. Give it to your kids, to your grandkids, to your friends' kids. When you use that promotional code, it's $36 before Monday. JScreen screens for over 100 diseases, And we are the only screening organization in the world that screens for Ashkenazic, Sephardic, Persian, and common Caucasian diseases all on one screen. We have screened thousands and thousands of people in every single state in the country. And we've identified hundreds of people who are at risk for having a Jewish genetic diseased child. 1/3 of us here tonight is a carrier for at least one of the Jewish genetic diseases for which we screen. Carriers like me and Caroline and 1/3 of you here tonight are perfectly healthy. We have no history of disease in our families. And there are only 2 ways to know whether you carry a Jewish genetic disease. The first is to be screened by JScreen. And the second is to have a child with a Jewish genetic disease. After JScreen was up and running across the country, and Caroline and I had acted to save young families from Jewish genetic diseases, we started to turn a little bit of our focus to saving our own daughter. We became the leading advocates for research for ML4. We became the driving force behind the ML4 Foundation. And with the help of so many of you here tonight, we hired Dr. Rebecca Oberman as our first ever executive director. The young adults of the Atlanta Jewish community, not much older than Eden, supported her when the Atlanta Jewish Teen Fund provided seed money for some of our initial research efforts. And yes, we know that curing ML4 will require collaboration like never seen before. And because of our persistence and our vision, we've inspired 25 researchers to join us here in Atlanta next month, gathering for the 3rd time in 4 years to help calibrate the research agenda and find a cure for ML4. Tonight, I want to share a secret with you. It hasn't been made public yet, but who better to share this with than my Atlanta family? Later this year, Eden will be the first child ever with ML4 to receive a drug that we think will improve her life. I didn't set out to be known as a social entrepreneur, but there was that one moment in time. What will you do in that moment? How will you act? Will you do something big and bold that's never been done before? Will you have the faith to jump into the water? Will you be Nachshon? Thank you all very, very much.